later on. And there are more and more people joining. I'm really happy to see all of you. Hello, Ritesh.
Hi, Jana ji. This is the first time I'm meeting you. I will be hearing you.
Thank you. I'm happy to meet you. Pleased to meet you, and
Yeah,
happy to have you here today.
yeah. Thank you. I'm loving your enthusiasm.
You do? Oh, thank you. Actually, I would say yes. It has brought me quite some way in life, I would say. Beautiful. Let's start. Once again, hi, everybody. Welcome to today's consciousness session. We switched from Thursdays to Tuesdays. So for the time being, the consciousness session will be on Tuesdays live. And I see some of you are familiar to me, or I'm familiar to you, and know what's upcoming. Some are new, as we just already heard. And so I give you a little bit of a warning that I always come up with maybe kind of a strange question in the beginning of our chat. I would really just love to invite you to drop the thought, trust the process, engage with your intuition, what's upcoming, and engage into the dialogue that comes up. Even if the first engagement might be, could you make this a little more precise, Jana? So this is totally fine as well. And we start with me actually putting out a question there for you. And today's topic is conscious confusion. And my question for you is, how can consciousness help you to get from confusion to clarity?
Yeah.
Ritesh, yes, please share with us.
Please repeat the question once more. How can consciousness help?
How can consciousness support you on getting from confusion to clarity?
Through meditation, mindfulness, silence, uh, and plant-based diet.
Thank you, Ritesh.
And also we can include Swadhyay, that is reading right spiritual books in the company of being in the company of truth seekers.
Yes,
raising your awareness levels. It happens gradually over a period of time. It might take lifetimes also.
yes.
But, yeah, just we have to ensure that we are in the right path.
Great.
And lots of patience. And
Lots of patience. Yes.
and
Consciousness supports on being patient, right?
Yeah. And no expectations, no desires. These are some of the ways I could think of, removing the confusion or removing the cloud, you can say.
Thank you, Ritesh. These are examples on a really good examples on a, let's say, an overall level. If we look at the overall of life, and might indeed be the path for the lifetime here. Thank you so much, Ritesh.
Yeah, thank you.
Anu, please share with us, what are your thoughts around this?
So I think confusion happens when we are not really aware of confusion in choices, confusion in state of mind. So the first thing is to really be, the first act would be to really realize that there is a confusion.
Indeed. And this is a type of consciousness as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the minute you realize that, yes, there is a confusion, then you have found the problem. Then how we find the solution? There are multiple solutions, right? And one consciousness, through consciousness, we would get clarity. But yeah, the first one would be that.
Indeed. And this is what I meant when I decided for today's topic about conscious confusion, because it seems like kind of opportunities. But as you just mentioned, Anu, the first step from getting out of confusion into clarity is being conscious about the fact that we are confused, right? Thank you, Anu. And it fits with what Ritesh says, but it's not on the overall level of life that Ritesh mentions, but more on the concrete level of, let's say, in a situation where we are kind of confused. Exactly. We have another sharing in the chat where it said, we don't get much thoughts when we are conscious. Thoughts are the source of all confusions. Yes, very true. That with the confusion in the end is not only one stream of thought, but I would say a huge amount of stream of thoughts at the same time, indeed. So, and Anu just mentioned that being conscious about the confusion is the first step into clarity. If we take the beautiful picture that we just got from the chat from Anindita, let's say we have all these streams of thoughts in our head, and we are a step further, being conscious about the fact that we are confused, as there are so many streams of thoughts currently in our head. What are the next steps that we can do to solve the problem of the huge amount of streams in our head? What solutions do you know from your own life? I think Ritesh already mentioned some.
Yeah, could you please repeat the question?
And you already answered some of them, or you already gave some of the possibilities. So imagine you have a lot of stream of thoughts in mind. That's where the confusion comes from. And you are one step further because you're aware, hold on, there are so many streams of thoughts in my mind. I'm confused. So I'm already conscious about being confused. My question was, what can be the next steps to get further towards clarity? And Madhavi, you would like to share, please. Madhavi. Sorry, I wasn't conscious enough in that moment.
Yeah. Good evening, Jana.
Good to see you, Madhavi. Hi.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, that's a very nice topic again. Having confusion of consciousness with confusion. Oh my goodness. Looking at it, the topic itself, it's kind of confusing around. What could be this topic all around about confusion with consciousness or confusion of consciousness? Oh God. Yeah. Basically, I'm a very confused person, basically, I would say.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I'm a Gemini. My character is, and yeah, that's from the sign, birth sign,
Mhm.
and then I'm always dwelling with the two. I
Mhm.
always like two things. Like I
Mhm.
want this way as well as that way. I like
Mhm.
day as well as night. I'm like always in that puzzle of that's my nature.
Mhm.
I like both.
Best of all, best of
Yeah,
both.
exactly,
Ah,
exactly.
okay. Mhm.
I like both. When somebody says, Madhvi, let's go for plan A, then I say, plan B is also good. Why not? Madhvi, this is not a thing. You need to stick only one. Select any one.
Mhm.
Then I will say, let's go A as well as B, both together. So something. So, but
Mhm.
later on, like dealing with this confusion, not only with that, but in every way, every aspect of life, also with the work or with the career or with everything, then I made up myself like a priority list or liking. What
Mhm.
do I like? Or maybe probably.
Mhm.
So if I like the day and night, it's very hard for me to decide. And I'm confused in that. So, but where do I'm so happy about it is like light, looking at the sunlight
Mhm.
and being in the garden. And it is light. Only in the night, I can't do all those things. So
Mhm.
then I set myself, okay, day is the one thing which is good. So my confusion was little went down.
Mhm.
Okay, I set it my priority. Okay, day is the first plan A to
Mhm.
do everything. Yes, of course. In the night also, I need sometimes to rest and do some things, to draw or
Mhm.
something. So that way, I removed my confusion. Basically, I was a so confused person. Sometimes I don't know whether to take this bus or to that bus, especially in Germany. I also got so much confused that instead of going to this direction, I went to the left direction
Mhm.
because of the signs or because, yeah, that was a confusion.
Okay. So would you say that making a conscious choice is one step that can lead from confusion to clarity, and focusing on that choice? Is that what I got like,
Yes.
if I try to put it in the nutshell, or to extract the essence? Is
Yeah.
that one possibility?
That
Okay.
I put my priorities or I put my likes
Mhm.
to one aside so that
Mhm.
I can select the paths or
Mhm.
I can select the ways.
Mhm.
Which one is coming first and next, and then I have this confusion is gone, and then I can stick to that one part.
Mhm.
Because for me, if you like both, I like both night and day.
Mhm.
But Madhvi, you have to choose any one. Then they say that. Then I choose the brightness because I like sun and I like to be in the garden and I'm very motivated, active. So for myself, then I thought that okay, plan A, having a sun day is good. But
Mhm.
when somebody says no, Madhvi, this is completely wrong. Day, night also is good. Then I'll say yes, a night also is there for me because I'm the person of both or many. I would say not only both
Okay.
but many
Mhm.
choices. I like all the
Ah,
choices.
it's beautiful. So you're a person of many
Many
choices.
choices,
Mhm.
yes. I
Mhm.
cannot say that select only one, Madhvi. No, I want this and this and this and this.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
that's how
and
I
would you
take it.
okay, and would you say that, let's say it's kind of a, maybe it's kind of a process, or a phase in a way, where you make a choice, you follow that choice, after a while you see plenty of choices again,
I see that
and
this is one choice as well as
Mhm.
this is also one choice and this is
Mhm.
also one choice.
Mhm.
When I get fulfilled with one choice, why don't I try the other one?
Mhm.
Then I give another chance for myself to take another one.
Mhm.
Like for example, in the career also, I have changed my biology, then I have changed my business management, then I changed it to IT. I feel so happy changing everything.
Mhm.
So it's not that you select it and then you
Mhm.
find your way, but you're not
Mhm.
confused, or I'm not confused, or I don't repent like, oh, I did not choose that, or I do not choose that, or this, I'm not confused now.
Mhm.
So I selected, this is what I want. And then if I have 4 or 5 choices, then I do those 4 or 5 choices also, but one by one.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Mhm.
So
So
that way.
okay, so what I hear is, you kind of identify the different streams in your head, right? The different choices are the same as the different stream of thoughts in the head, and then you decide, make the conscious choice of choosing or selecting one by one. And it can also be, in the end, having chosen them all, but not at the same time, but right after the other. Is that what you would say can get us from confusion to clarity?
Yes,
Okay.
for everything.
Okay. So
For
then
example, if you want to go for a travel also, you're confused with what mode of transportation you wanted to take.
Mhm.
Because sometimes the prices are very high, so then you don't choose the flight. Then prices are little economical, then you try to go by train
Mhm.
or by bus, or by group of people then.
Mhm.
But the destination you want to reach, the confusion is whether you have 4 or 5 different choices.
Mhm.
There is a confusion.
Mhm.
But still, to reach that destination, you don't want it to stop yourself.
Mhm.
But these are the things which are hindering you. But finally, even if I am there in that position, then the money does not matter. The reaching the goal is the matter. So I even choose the going in a group of people. That means I select that. Though I want to go in the flight, but there are consequences that you don't have money there. And
Mhm.
then there are consequences you don't have train tickets also. There are consequences. So then you select it in a group. Then in a group you have that little sharing about that. Then you reach the destination.
Mhm.
That means you are so. I'm not confused with those things of selecting the ways to reach your destination. That
Mhm.
way I try to remove my confusion in a conscious way.
Thank
It's a
you.
good subject.
It is and I can share you later with you how it came up, because it has to do with our session of last week, interestingly enough. But thank you for sharing so far, Madhvi. Anindita, you raised your hand quite a while ago. Please share with us as well.
Yes. Hi, Jana. Am I
Yes.
pronouncing it correctly?
You did very well. Thank you, Anindita. Do I pronounce your name as well? Do I pronounce it right?
Yes.
Good, good.
Anindita. Yeah.
Anindita. Hi, Anindita.
Yes.
Please share with
Hi.
us.
Yeah. So, what struck me is when we are conscious, we are detached from our thoughts and emotions.
Mhm.
Actually, confusions is because not like what you said. Confusions are not because of one thought. It's
Mhm.
because of bunch of thoughts.
Mhm. Mhm. Exactly.
And when we think something, like what happens, there is a loop. Like we have a feeling for it, and like when our feelings are different, again our thoughts change, and like this is the loop that we all know.
Mhm.
So I think when we are conscious, we are detached from our thoughts, our emotions. So there is
Mhm.
some distance,
Mhm.
and we are not affected by our likes and even our dislikes, and we just make decisions based on what's needed at that point of time.
Mhm.
So I think that's when we move from we become how to put it we our confusions become clarity there
Mhm.
when we are conscious. So I
Beautiful.
think it, yeah.
Beautiful, Anindita. So if I get it right, if I heard you right, and please correct me or add on, I just try to sum it up as good as I can. What I heard is, once we are conscious about the fact that we are confused, it's about stepping back, so detaching from the thoughts, more becoming the observer of the thoughts, free of judgment, so that we can get conscious about the different thoughts. And once we observe them from a distance, we are not attached to them anymore, but detached, and from there can find our way into clarity. Did I get that right?
Yeah. Yes, right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we don't get bundle of thoughts because like we are not attached to our emotions as well,
Mhm.
so that loop does not continue, and we just do what is needed that point
Mhm.
of time.
Mhm. So consciousness about confusion. Next step would be consciously getting into a distance, becoming the observer.
Yeah.
And from there, consciously taking choices, if I got that right. Thank you, Anindita. Sumati, please share with us as well.
Thank you, Jana. As usual, a stimulating question. As usual, yeah. I do agree with what the previous master said. And I just want to add on that I always find and am aware that more so confusion would arise if the right decision or decisions skewing to incorrect solution or result is what you aim for. That's when the confusion comes. More so. And then when you weigh the pros and cons, I realize that sometimes to step back and give it time, totally forget about it, and revisit it at another time, probably the next day. And there'll be great clarity that is seen. And then you realize that the confusion wouldn't even arise if you were not skewing for the wrong solution, more so, I mean. But sometimes you just need the reassurances because there may be external factors to our conversation or decision making. So these external factors can be your loved ones or third person who can sort of, you may also think, okay, that person has evidence based on their past experiences or because of ABC reasons. So that's why the confusion may come in, but still you are the best decider. And I would also like to share with my fellow masters here. Of late, I realized that I would just ask my overself, ask the question, and put the prospective solution or result or outcomes and go to sleep. Next day, as cool as a cucumber, voila, I've got the answer.
As cool as a cucumber. That is a very nice picture. Interesting. Great.
And it's always become positive outcome. Yes. Thank you. That's what I wanted to share. Yeah, ask your own self, go to sleep. You know exactly what the answer is the next.
So you would say it's also a way of going into the distance, right? Getting into conscious distance from what you're trying to decide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. And I'm really intrigued by what you said about queuing for the wrong decision.
Yes.
Can you give us a little more detail on that? Because that is a very strong and powerful insight.
Okay, I can't think what are the examples, but I'll just tell you, should I have apple or should I have sweets? I would want to have sweets because I'm low, because I'm sick, because I didn't get what I wanted. For example, okay? And then, but then I have a confusion there. And then I would then, go through all these processes. This is just an example of a choice of, oral input. Yeah. So that's what I meant. This is what I've seen in my life experiences, because that confusion may not arise at all in the first place if there was stability in my decision making.
Very interesting. Very interesting. This just brings up a question on my mind about, imagine you need to take an important decision in life, and somewhere within you, you already know the right answer or the right way to go. But maybe emotions like fears or concern might keep you from queuing at that solution or for that decision. And you instead still try to keep yourself back actually from queuing at the right decision, because fears and anxieties might hold you back. Is that something similar that might also lead to confusion?
Yes, that could be again something in your subconscious mind, isn't it? What you have gone through that is sort of surfacing. But as you asked me the question, I remember something else. This is very strange and it seems absurd. Even at this age, I've crossed 50 and I still do this. And I believe in the universe. I could plan everything beautifully, and after the confusion, and I can decide something. But suddenly, out of nowhere, I have taken another decision. And I've never regretted it. And these just comes like magic. I just follow my gut feeling. So I think it's all tying to what we have discussed in the past. And they're very, 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 very important decisions, really important decision. For instance, right from, I know this is a closed platform. I hope if it's recorded, kindly just delete this bit. I knew someone who had to get married to me through proposal.
Sumati ji, just for your information, it's live on YouTube. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So anyway, there was a proposal for me, and then finally I realized there was something not right. And when I had to go for consultancy in that place, I for some reason I finished my consultancy in the clinics and I came back. I was driving on the highway and suddenly something said, just make a U-turn and check on something. I did that. I exited the highway and went and checked on something, and I got to know the answer. Now, my dad always asked me, why did you make a U-turn? I say, I don't know. I don't know. And that has really changed the course of my life. So that's why I believe in that answers. And it's worked for me all the while, if it comes. So I feel the universe is there caring for me and looking after me, because I'm only human and I could just be naive and just be complacent about something that's been said. Or it could be a choice, but then I could just make an impromptu decision and it's turned out to be well, always. I forgot to say that. It's always worked for me. Yeah. And it's amazing. And my husband and my kids know that too. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing, Sumati ji.
Of course, I have tweaked my story when you said I'm live on YouTube. But I want to tell you, I mean it. I mean what I say. It's changed the course of my life. And it's so amazing. It's so beautiful what I discovered when I made the U-turn, and I'm just supposed to go back to my hometown, and I don't know why within a fraction of a split second, I just exited and came back. Nobody knows. Amazing. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have some more messages on the chat that I would like to share with you because they also fit in quite beautifully with what we just said. Purna just mentions that confusion starts with a desire to know the unknown, e.g., science and spiritual worlds. Too many ideas, too many inputs, multiple solutions. Confusion makes the life challenging. Guiding your mind to accept confusion so that we can start to explore, face new challenges, to know the unknown, and to start to explore and from there know the unknown is the next way into getting from confusion to clarity. Actually, this is a beautiful angle that you just mentioned, Purna, to also acknowledge what's there in terms of accept that there is confusion first and take it from there step by step. And by what you just wrote, there was another thought upcoming to me, because what you wrote is confusion starts with the desire to know the unknown. I just would like to share a quote of Rumi, because Rumi said, what is fear? Fear is the resistance of the unknown. If we accept the unknown, fear becomes adventure. This just came up to me with what you mentioned about this root of confusion. And so it again fits in, I would say.
Yes, wonderfully said, Jana. Thanks. Yeah. So it's all about knowing the unknown entity, that you should believe that there is something unknown entity there. Then just trust your make your mind calm down, think. There are multiple inputs, multiple solutions. Try to divert it into a way where your mind accepts that particular solution, for example.
Beautiful. So I think we brought it up to when we're confused, become conscious about, yes, we are confused. Consciously also accept it, acknowledge it, let it be there, go into the distance, and from there start exploring without attachment what different streams of thoughts might cause the confusion, and accept that there is always a lot of unknown, and you only stepwise make this unknown known. From there, because I would say that this way, confusion might also become an adventure instead of making us anxious. Being okay of unmantling everything step by step and revealing everything stepwise. This is what I personally right now get out of it. Ranjani, please, you go.
Hi, Anna.
Hi.
I have a little bit different perspective from what all the other masters have shared. Like in any decision or anything involving you or another friend or a person, sometimes we are so clear in giving advice to the other person what they need to do. We can see it very well where they are making a mistake, or we can easily tell what should be their next steps when it comes to a problem. Whereas the same problem is coming to you, you really are confused. It is my observation. You could correct me. So the reason is you put so much emphasis on that self, on the I word, right? That I am the one going through this, so I need to have the best choices or whatever. Whereas you don't think even for a second when you're giving solutions to somebody else, you are very clear on what they should do. So maybe if you remove that part of you who is the person experiencing that or the confusion, and observe it as a third party, what solution would you give to them? Maybe that could lead to clarity is my line of thinking.
Ranjani, absolutely. I think we're totally aligned here, actually, because what you said here to me also means getting into a distance, right? Removing the I. And we also talked about not being attached to these thoughts and the emotions.
Correct. Exactly.
And so this is where these things totally align and fit with each other. And actually, this is a very beautiful question and a powerful question used in coaching that I also use in my coachings a lot of times. What advice would you give a good friend that comes with the same, let's say, confusion here? And normally from there, you get quite a clear answer, just as you said. And nevertheless, this might not mean that the person is able to follow through with that answer immediately. And then I again go with people in the distance and ask, what keeps you from following through? And then you get from a root that is on the cognitive level, a lot of times to a root that is on the emotional level, if that makes sense. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. You are not able to remove yourself from that level. So it is easy to give that for other people, but when it is involving you, you have all these confusions because you just cannot detach yourself. So that is the reason for all the things that you experience, and you will not see clarity right away.
Yeah. And I think it's, again, also what was Apurna also mentioned is accepting that the clarity is not there right away is the first step also into getting into a distance from the confusion. Accept what is. From there, you first need to accept it, to detach from it, and from there get into the distance. More people want to engage. Anu, please come to us, share with us.
Jana, I was thinking, like, if there was we have all gone through multiple different confusions in life. Some are bigger, some are just momentary, some are easier to tackle, depending on how much emotion, fear, anxiety, and social conditioning, belief system, all that we carry around the solution or problem. But if we, whenever there's an exercise done where you go and ask your younger self, or advise your younger self, right? It's same thing, because we are distancing, we have seen the experience, or it looks like an opportunity at that time because we are really away from it. As you said, adventure, because though it's our own life, but we have a higher, bigger perspective to it. But at that moment, when we are really going through confusion, because there are so many different layers to it, we get sucked into it. So it gets more muddled, right? So the minute we let it settle, probably then these layers could be identified. Again, identification of the same confusion. So when we look back sometimes and we say, really, there wasn't a confusion at all. It was just an opportunity thrown at us to review it, right? Or just choose. I don't know. I want to say something a little different here. See, being a spiritual on the spiritual journey, right? You also know that there are really no accidents and confusions, right? Because whatever choices we choose or make, we are, end of the day, we are the creators. We are the manifestors of our own reality. There's no right and wrong choice. So whatever if you really think of higher quantum and all that, whatever choices you make, there will be a parallel reality created to that, right? I don't know if you're getting it and getting the drift of it, but it's at a very high level. We don't. We always have the safety net to really explore all those different. Because when we come down to earth, we are supposed to really go through the experience, and confusion is just part of those choices. And I feel what I want to convey is that if we are so hung up on right, wrong, not, we are getting confused and all those things, we take the fun out of it. It's good to be confused at time, I think, to really, then once you do make your decision, you will enjoy the fruit as much, because it's a labor of love then, right? Whatever. So not to be too hung up on our errors and confusion too, I feel.
It's very interesting approach, and so you would say it could also be an option, or it is a valid option, to embrace confusion in a positive way, being, let's say, trying to enjoy it because you're aware of something important is in that confusion, and from there getting closer to untangling it. Is that what did I hear that right?
True. It becomes an exercise in itself, which could be meditative in a process, right? Because you are removing these layers and coming to the core of it. Yeah, that's it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Anu.
Oh, you're welcome.
Amazing. Amazing. Another really great angle. Yes. Sumadji, please, Sumadji.
Thank you, Jana. Totally agree with Master Anu. Yeah, it's a concept of duality, and what's meant to be is meant to be. So it's acceptance on the decision that we've taken. And what I would like to share with my friends here is one of the things that that we are aware of, going through the pathway of confusion and then ultimately unveiling the layers and then coming to the right decision. I would like to tell my friends here that it would be really great for those who have young kids to teach them the exercise of putting it down on a piece of paper and write the pros and cons, and teach them this concept of decision making from young. But the only addition we can do right now is, which I did not know then when I had taught my kids on this concept, is I never knew the concept of meditation. The concept of attaching the emotions, which I now realize, after the years of meditation. So we can also teach our kids to note if there was an emotion that's been attached in that pros and cons, and then to make a decision. I think these platforms are so great. It's just not to nourish and nurture us, but also to share and disseminate this information to our kids and loved ones. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you for this addition, Sumadhi. Ritesh, please share your thoughts, ideas.
Yeah, thank you. We are talking of solution. Okay. Now, first of all, I would like to say that confusion is because of mind. It is the product of the mind. And at the soul level, there cannot be any confusion. There is always a clarity. So, as we know that in meditation, we go in a no mind state. We connect to our higher self. So again, my solution, my answer is similar to what I said previously. You do all the things which you help you connect with your higher self. Then naturally the confusion will go away, because it is the mind's habit, to create confusion and disbeliefs and all those wrong things. So just connect to your higher self, whatever it is required to connect, and it will go away naturally. You bring the soul energy in, so it will automatically go away. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Ritesh. I think this also matches with what was said before in many ways, because just as you said, whatever helps you to connect to your higher self is the right thing to do to get out of confusion. And all the things I heard, getting into a distance, detach, observe, accept what's there, like acknowledge, let it be, don't try to ignore it. All these things are also aspects that help us to connect to the higher self on the one and the other level. And of course, yes, everybody here, I think everybody totally agrees with you on the fact that meditation is the powerful tool to connect as well. Sometimes my personal experience is that some of the other aspects that have been said here support me additionally to meditation, or might be steps that I can take before I go into meditation to gain even more clarity, more silence in my head. So maybe some of the things that were said are also kind of preparation for going into meditation from there. Thank you very much for sharing, Ritesh.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I hope you all had that much clarity that I gained from this session around how to deal with confusion, or how to embrace confusion, how to consciously embrace confusion also, and how consciousness, different aspects of consciousness, help us to get from confusion to clarity. Hitesh, would you like to add something more? You just unmuted.
No, I'm actually interested to listen to Ram sir on this.
You mean you would like to know Ram's
Ah,
ideas?
yes.
Please, Ram, your stage.
So, thank you, Ritesh. When the session started, yes, I was also in confusion. Then I just let it, and as I was in a receiving mode, listening mode, I gained clarity. So my learning, my takeaway is that when we are in an openness, when we are in a receiving mode, when we are in a listening mode, automatically we gain clarity just by what I witnessed in these 40 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramesh.
Very nice. Listening is the way. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And I would even add just very briefly on to what Ram says about the openness and the acceptance for being open to be confused in a way at that moment. I'm just reading a book from one of the men that have been working at the FBI for a long time in negotiation, hostage negotiation. And one of their main rules they follow to get into a good connection with every hostage taker is supporting them on acknowledging instead of acting out. So bringing people in openness and in acknowledging their emotions instead of acting out on them. And I think that goes along with what Ram says. If we neglect the confusion, if we don't want it to be there, if we look away, it's probably getting either more intense, more confused, or maybe anxiety rises further. If we're open to stay in confusion and listen, things unfold in their very own way. Thank you very much, everybody. It's like time flew. We're already very, very deep into the session. I nevertheless would like to guide you in a little bit of a shorter meditation today, but let's still go into meditation. And for this, I invite every one of you to find your way in a comfortable position, whatever position feels best to you, sitting or lying down. Doesn't matter. Whatever is yours. If you're sitting, try to keep the spine upright so that your chest can breathe freely and start to observe your breath coming in and out of your nose for a moment. Nothing else you need to do. Only observing your breath for a little moment. How it feels around your nostrils when you breathe in. And how it feels around your nostrils when you breathe out again. Simply let your breath come and go. Come and go. Every inhalation, you soothe your mind. With every exhalation, you soothe your body. Just like that, effortlessly. I now want you to ask yourself a simple question without forcing an answer. Only ask yourself, who am I? Don't force an answer. Let come what comes. Maybe there comes nothing. Then just let the question accompany you. And go on breathing in and out in your natural breathing pattern. Observing the breath with your attention. And when your mind wanders to thoughts, just bring your attention back to your nostrils and observe the sensations of your in-breath and of your out-breath. Ask yourself another question without forcing the answer. Send the question out. What do I want? What is my deepest desire? Let come whatever comes. Your intuition is faster than your mind. And if nothing comes, just let the question accompany you while you're breathing. Now ask yourself a third question. Again, no force for an answer. Ask yourself, what is my purpose? How can I serve best? Come what comes, and if nothing comes, let the question be with you while you breathe in and out. There is a fourth question waiting for you. Send it out and let arise whatever arises when you ask yourself and the universe, what am I grateful for? Let it all come while you breathe in and out. Pictures, words, emotions, whatever is sent to you from deep inside. No need to force anything. Just breathe and observe. With every in-breath, you soothe your mind. With every out-breath, you soothe your body. We will now go into deconstructing the ego surrounding you. For several times in your mind, say the sentence I am and add your full name. I am Jana would be mine. So a couple of times in your head, repeat the sentence I am and complete it with your full name. And now stop saying it and bring up everything attached to your current life situations, your joys, your sorrows, your roles, everything that comes up to you and has to do with who you are in your life situation right now. Let the pictures arrive randomly. And now, drop your last name. And in your head or in your being, whatever is best for you, repeat, I am, and only add your first name a couple of times. I am Jana. I am Ramesh. I am Anu. Whatever is your first name. Stop repeating your name and bring up the joyful memories of your childhood to you now. That have to do with the child you were that was called by this name. In the next step, fully drop your name and only repeat, I am silently. And if you want to, you can replace I am by the mantra aham. Aham. Now, stop repeating the mantra and settle into full silence. Become the observer. Be aware of awareness for a while. It may be your destiny to play roles in your life, but you're not the roles you play. You are the essence, the observer, the awareness of awareness. You are consciousness. resting in the silence behind all sounds. You become aware of the source. And now it is time to come back. Slowly make your way back into your physical body with your awareness. Get aware of your hands, move your fingers. Acknowledge your feet and move your toes. Spread out your attention in the room that you're in and get aware of walls, windows, doors, whatever is there right around you. Make some gentle movements with your shoulders. Bring your attention to your nose and take a deep breath in through your nose and let it go through your mouth once. Get back into your normal breathing pattern. And whenever you feel comfortable in your own pace at your own time, gently open your eyes again. Great to have everyone back. I hope you're full of clarity and that you lack any type of confusion. If there's anything you would like to share for now, please feel free to unmute yourself or write in the chat. And if not, that's totally and perfectly fine as well.
Jana, you should go and talk between Ukrainian and Russian people when they're meeting with the UN team. Your voice will let them drop the weapons. You are so amazing. Your calmness is so infectious, and the energy suddenly so soothing. There's absolutely no room for any confusion or anything. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anu. I really don't know what to say. I thank you. Thank you very much. Anu, Madhvi, what would you like to share?
Thank you so much, Jana. As you know that you always bring so much visions to me, especially when you start giving this. She was right. The one that the master was saying that you have to go and sit or tell about those Ukrainian and Russian people to sit together and negotiate on the topics, because the way you explain and the way you deliver the messages, it calms and soothes so much. And I could see the light, the bright sunlight, which is which is so bright that I can also try to spread that light with the words or with the motivation or with the inspiration. I don't know, but this is what it's. You asked me the question, right? Ask yourself, what are you? What are you meant for? What are you? So that was the question I asked. Like, then I just popped me up saying that if you are a light and you have to bring that light to the others, that's so amazing. It's so beautiful, actually. It's really that vision. I can draw it in the picture and I'll send you as always. Thank you so much. I'll
Thank
definitely
you,
meet you
Madhvi.
once. If you are in Germany, I'll just come and meet once, just to
Definitely.
give you a little warm and huggy things.
It's high up
Yeah.
on my bucket list. We will do so, Madhvi.
Yes,
Definitely.
definitely, because I wanted to give that my affection to you when I get these visions, especially with your meditation classes. Really,
Thank you so much.
thank you so much.
Madhviji, this means a lot to me. Thanks to everyone who entered and engaged in today's topic. It means a lot. Swana, yes, you want to share something?
Hey Jana, yeah, sorry I missed. Maybe I don't know, it is consciously confusion or unconsciously confusion. But yeah, there was a confusion of timing. I joined several times, 11 o'clock, then it was like 12, then I put my alarm to 12, and now it rang, and then it's let me join. Then I already end of the session. So I will go to the YouTube and listen to it definitely. But yeah, as Madhavi said, I always love and look forward and to your sessions and always learn something new. So today is like conscious confusion. Maybe I will go and look into more what is exactly you're all talking about. But to me, maybe conscious confusion is like you're in conscious, you're in awareness, and you got confusion, right? There are two people say their opinion, or there are two paths like in a Y junction, and you are confused. So that is the conscious confusion. And when that happens, you always listen to your heart, not the mind. See if there is any attachment or is there any selfishness in those two paths, and go with the universal, like what is like the bigger picture at that time. So yeah, I came from India like 2 weeks back. My sister's husband passed away, and then my father was in hospitalized, and after 2 months he passed away. So I took care of all those things and I came back. So from that journey, from all those events in our family, learned a lot. And now I feel like I have like bigger view of looking at things and the universe and who we are and what we are and what is our purpose. So I gone through so many times the Y junction, and so much of is it what am I doing? Is it the selfishness to take care of my family members back, or this family member, my husband, kids, leaving them, because my only husband and son was here, and my daughter is in their college. So I was like confusion. Then no, my family is part of my blood relation, so definitely I need to care. Or here is importance, or going there is important. So priority, I looked into the priority and importance brought into universal. Then I thought, no, that is important because they are in pain, they are in emotion, so I should be there, support them. So that's the opinion, that's the point got in my head, and I went ahead. And there I took care of my father. He was also sick, been sick like 2 years. So I postponed my trip, even though it was like 2 months. Then my dad told me to postpone me. So I followed my father's, what is that, Pitru Vakya Paripalana, in we say. So we have to follow our father is the first God for us in this physical world. So I followed him, and universe supported me. My husband said, like, yes, go ahead and postpone your trip, no matter how long it is. The serving father is serving God. So I postponed. It was like 3.5 months I stayed there, and they managed. So everything went well. So just I wanted to give my journey, and so someone can, if they get into the same path like me, always look into your heart and think bigger picture, like bring universe for your to help you. So that's all happened, ma'am. So that's the conscious confusion that came into my mind. Maybe if there is anything to add, or maybe my understanding is different, please let me know, or I'll look into the YouTube then. So thank you very much, Jana. It's always pleasure seeing you.
Thank you for joining in and sharing additionally right now. And I think you bring a very experienced journey from confusion to consciousness with you, back from the journey that you just came back from. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being part of the family, Swana.
Yes, I always love to be, always look forward to join Beam family. But yeah, recently I've been out. And so, yeah, but I always go back to the YouTube videos, and whenever I need it, Beam is my to-go place and to learn, to meditate and everything. So thank you. Thank you everyone for listening, and thank you all. Thank you,
Thanks to
Jana.
all of you as well. See you next week again. Bye-bye. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Jana.
Thank you, Jana. Bye-bye. Bye.